Hi everyone, good morning. My name is PB Esther Rani, Assistant Professor of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today, my topic is question tags. Have you ever heard a question tags? I think usually we hear like what we call that price tags, not question tags. Usually we hear price tags, means when we go to a shop, we check for the price tags. But here in English, we have question tags. What is a question tag? Why do we need a question tag? What is the importance of question tags in grammar? So here, question tag is actually not a question. It's not a question at the end of the sentence, but we don't keep the sentence in the form of a question. Question tag is usually at the end of the statement. At the end of the statement, we add question tag for the sake of the conversation to be open, for the conversation to be open to everyone. So here, these question tags are very important in grammar, where we see here, when we use question tags at the end of the statement, it reveals some sort of interest. It reveals some sort of interest to the readers or listeners. Say, for example, she is beautiful. She is beautiful. When we say she is beautiful, might be this is somewhat a dull statement. But at the end of the statement, if we use she is beautiful, isn't she? Isn't she? So when you use the question tag, means contracted form of the question, is it not she? Instead of is it not she, isn't she, that we use. When we use isn't she, it raises some sort of enthusiasm, interest. It opens the conversation. It leads the conversation. Understand? So here, usually native speakers generally speaks with a question after a speech. Not only those people, even in our native language also, we use question tags. Means a small contracted form of question after our speech. Say, for example, what we say that, if we are talking to other person, stating that, yeah, life is good. Life is good. When you say life is good as a statement, it doesn't look so nice. But at the end of the statement, life is good, if you add a question tag, isn't it? Isn't it? So it generates some sort of interest to the other person just to lead in the conversation. Conversation will be open. The other person will continue the speech. So that's the beauty of question tag in grammar. This is a grammatical structure. Even in the question tag itself, we have a question. It's a question tag. It's a question tag, isn't it? It's a question tag, isn't it? So in this way, question tag adds the color to the grammar, But where do we use these question tags? Usually these question tags we use in informal situations only, not in the formal situation. No. When we talk to higher authorities, we don't go for question tags. That should be formal. That conversation must be very formal. But when we talk to our friends, when we talk to our very close people, we go in an informal way. Briefly, we can say that in informal situations, we use question tags. Here, in this slide, I have given a picture, beautiful picture. I have given two friends. They are talking to each other about the weather of the day. Very a pleasant smile they have on their faces. So they are talking to each other about the weather of the day. One person is saying, it seems by seeing the faces of those people, we can understand how pleasant the weather is. So might be one person is telling, it is sunny. It is sunny. Means the weather is very hot or it's like a warm. It is sunny. Then just by saying that it is sunny, it doesn't look so like awesome. The statement is bit dull. When she added, see, it is sunny, isn't it? Isn't it? So the conversation was open now. The other person, what he is saying is, yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. I love the sun. Don't you? I love the sun. Don't you? So a beautiful situation that I have given to understand in a better way what is question tag. Question tag opens the conversation, it leads the conversation, and then it creates a very comfortable atmosphere in a formal situation. Understand? And question tags are short forms. Usually we don't go for long forms. Is it? Isn't it? Aren't? Like are? Like it, in this way, very contracted forms that we use at the end of the statement. Usually these are mainly used for in speeches when we want to like confirm something. When we want to, is it? It's a confirmation. Is it? It's a confirmation. Or we want to find out something whether it's a true or not. When we want to confirm whether it's a true or not, we go for a question tag. Understand? Here see, it's not a dog. It is not a dog. It is not a dog. Is it? Here, it is not a dog. Is it? So here, this is an agreement. Usually question tags we use for making questions and for asking agreement. It is not a dog. So it's some sort of agreement. Is it? Is it? They are cats, aren't they? They are cats, aren't they? Are not they? It's not a full form of this. We should not use in question tag. Contracted form of questions. These are. Aren't they? Not are not they. No. Aren't they? So here, question tags. One more thing I want to tell you here. Question tags are formed with a auxiliary verb or modal verb. You can say that either auxiliary verb or a modal verb from the main sentence and the appropriate subject pronoun. What is the auxiliary verb here? In the next sentence I have given a say, Karan is learning to drive. Karan is learning to drive. Is learning to drive. Is here auxiliary verb or modal. Karan is a subject. Okay. Karan is learning to drive. Learning is also verb only, but here we have taken auxiliary verb for the sake of question tags. We use auxiliary verbs only in the question tags, not main verbs. Though we have main verbs in the sentence, to form question tags, we prefer auxiliary verbs or modal verbs only. So here, is an auxiliary verb, which we call helping verb also, in other words. Okay. So taking this is, we have framed question tag, that is, isn't she? Next, Mark cannot ride a horse. Mark cannot ride a horse. Can't ride a horse. Mark can't ride a horse. Can't is a modal verb or auxiliary verb. So here the question tag is can he? Can he? Okay. So have you seen any difference in these sentences? The first one is, it is not a dog. Negative sentence this is. It is not a dog. Negative sentence. They are cats. They are cats. Positive sentence. So basic rule is here, when we have negative statement, tag will come in a positive way. We have to frame positive question tag. When we have a positive statements in front of us, negative question tags we have to take. This is the basic rule. Let us discuss again basic rule with Few more examples. See here, see. We use a negative question tag after a positive sentence. This is a basic rule. And we use positive question tag after a negative sentence. If you have in your mind this basic rule, whatever the sentence that comes before you say, definitely you can do well. Right? Here, first sentence is Kate will be here soon. Kate will be here soon. Will is a auxiliary verb. So here the question tag we get won't, won't, will not, won't. Okay, so there was a lot of traffic. Was is an auxiliary verb. As this is a positive sentence, we have to take negative question tag. Wasn't there? Wasn't there? Okay. Then third sentence, Michael should pass the exam. Shouldn't he is the question tag. That is negative question tag. Now remaining sentences are positive question with positive question tags. Here see, but the statements are negative. Kate won't be late. Kate won't be late. Won't, which comes under negative form. So the statement or a sentence is in negative form. Will she? Will she? Next one is, they don't like us. Don't like. Won't be. Don't like us. They do not like us. Do they? Do they is the question tag. Positive question tag. You haven't got a car. You haven't got a car. Have you? Have you? Haven't, which comes under negative statement. Negative auxiliary verb. Okay. This will take positive question tag. Positive question tag. Clear it is? The basic rule of question tag is whenever you take positive sentence, you'll get negative question tag. If you get a negative sentence, positive question tag only you'll get. This is the basic rule. Though we have a few exceptions, those exceptions we'll discuss later in the later slide. And the next rule is question tags with do, does, did. So how can you identify whether the sentence belongs to do, does, did? That is present tense and past tense. Simple present tense and simple past tense. See here, when the verb in a sentence is in present or past, means simple present or simple past tense, we form the question tags with do, does, did only. There is no other explanation for this. Okay, here you see, John doesn't like golf. John doesn't like golf. Here, doesn't, which comes under simple present tense. Doesn't, which comes under simple present tense. Already, when we have done with the tenses, I just explained to you what is V1, V2, V3 form. V1 plus SR, ES and V2 forms we discussed. V1, which comes under do. Okay. V2 does. V2 does. And V1 SRES does form will rise. And then V2 did. Basic rule this is also. Okay. So here you see, as you got doesn't like golf. John doesn't like golf. Does he? Here, as you have direct auxiliary verb, you have taken does he. But in the next sentence, you don't have auxiliary verb, direct verb that you have, main verb. They left for Milan. They left for Milan. Left is the verb here. Left is the verb. What type of verb it is? Past tense verb. Left. Leave. Left. This is V2. So, for V2, what we have to use? Did. V2, what we have to use? Did. So, in this, they left for Milan is a positive sentence and the verb is in the form of V2. So, while taking question tag, we have to go for negative question tag, that is, didn't they. What is it? Didn't they. Okay. So, in this way, when you have simple present tense and simple past tense, you get the question tags with do, does, did. Understand? And then one more very important rule that I would like to tell you here. When a sentence contains a word with a negative meaning like never, hardly, seldom, rarely. All these never, hardly, seldom, rarely, all these are bit like when you read, you may feel like positive, but they are not positive. They are not positive words. They are negative words, negative in their meaning. Negative in their meaning. So question tags always based on the basic rule, positive question tag only you'll get. Positive question tag you'll get. They hardly ever go to the theater. They hardly ever go to the theater means they didn't go to the theater. Might be 0.5% here and there they went. I think that comes under zero only. So this is a negative sentence. They hardly ever go to the theater is a negative sentence. So it has taken do they. Do they? He never plays tennis. Never plays tennis means no, he didn't play. He didn't play. Hardly, never. So it's a negative sentence. So does she? Does she? Clear? So the next rule is, as we discussed, this is the extension of the previous rule, framing questions by do, does, did. Do plus V1 is nothing but V1, and does plus V1 is V1 plus S. Did plus V1 is V2. Present tense, do, V1 plus S, does. V2 is did. Already these we have discussed. Once again, it's like a recapitulation for us. Okay. They go now. Go is a verb which comes under do. Which comes under auxiliary verb do. So we have taken don't they. Don't they. Okay. The next sentence is they don't go now. They don't go now. Here directly we got a auxiliary verb don't, which comes under negative sentence. So we have to take positive statement, question tag, do they. Do they. She likes sweets. She likes sweets. Likes. Like is V1 plus S. V1 plus S. She likes sweets. He likes sweets. Doesn't he? Doesn't he? It's a positive sentence. So V1 plus yes takes does. Does. Okay. And then he doesn't like sweets. The same sentence in a negative form I have given you. Like he doesn't like sweets. He likes sweets. He doesn't like sweets. Does he? Positive question tag. Next one. He ate mangoes. Ate is a past tense. V2 form. Ate is a past tense. He ate mangoes. That is like what we call positive sentence. It takes negative question form. Didn't he? He ate mangoes. Didn't he? Next sentence is he didn't eat mangoes. He didn't eat mangoes. Here, direct auxiliary verb we have with the negative like a statement. He did not eat mangoes. So positive statement is like question tag is did he. So in this way we have to frame question tags. Always whatever might be the rule, ultimately positive statement takes negative question form, negative statement takes positive question tag. Okay. And the next one is question tags with auxiliary or modal verbs. Auxiliary and modal verbs in the previous slide we discussed. So here you see question tags are formed with auxiliary and modal verbs from the statement and appropriate subjects. Here is a Jack is from Spain. Jack is from Spain. Is a auxiliary verb. Isn't he? Negative question form. Mary can speak English. Can is auxiliary or modal verb. Can't he? Can't he? Can't she? They aren't funny. They aren't funny. Aren't. Are not. A rough expression. Are not. Aren't. They aren't funny. Are they? Is a tag. They shouldn't say things like that. They shouldn't say things like that. Shouldn't. Auxiliary, negative. Should he? Should he? Understood? The next one. When the verb in the main sentence is in the present simple or simple present tense. Simple present tense. We form the question tag with do, does. This also slightly we have discussed. You play guitar. You play guitar, don't you? Here, play which comes under simple present tense. Simple present tense, that is V1. V1. Which gives rise, V1 gives rise to do. So, you play guitar is a positive sentence. Takes negative question tag with a do, don't. Don't you? Don't you? Alison likes tennis. Alison likes tennis. V1 plus SES. Okay, yes. Alison likes tennis, doesn't she? Doesn't she? Okay. If the verb in the simple past tense, we use did. Okay. They went to the cinema. They went to the cinema. V2 form. V2 form always takes the question tag with did. We went to the cinema is a positive statement. We have taken here negative question tag. Didn't they? Didn't they? She studied in New Zealand. She studied in New Zealand. This is V2 form. Simple past tense. Simple past tense. Past simple also we can call. So, this is a positive sentence. So, we have taken didn't she? Didn't she? Okay. V2. For V2, we will go for did. V1 plus S or ES does. Clear, ma? Next, when the statement contains the word with a negative meaning, just now we discussed this. Hardly. He hardly speaks. He never speaks. The student who sat in the class hardly ever speaks, means he never speaks at all. I didn't see that boy speaking in the class. So it's a negative sentence. So we have taken does. Why can't we take here do he? Don't he? No. Speaks is a V1 plus S in a main verb. So we have to go for does he. Does he, not doesn't he. Okay. Next. Exceptions. Though in these many examples, we have taken only the basic rule. What is that basic rule? Statement, if it is in a positive way, question tag will be in a negative form. Okay. Negative statement will take positive question tag. Positive statement will take negative question tag. This is the basic rule. Based on this basic rule only, so far we have seen so many examples. Here, a few exceptions are there where we cannot follow that. So here see, some verbs or expressions have different question tags. What are they? Let us see here. I am, am I. This is one special expression where we can't go according to the expression that we have given. Am. Here see, negative question tag, if you get am I not, this am I not, we cannot contract. Question tags always must be in a contracted form. Negative question tag, am I not, cannot be contracted. So we cannot use am I not. I am not is also we can't use. Amn't, we don't have that expression at all. So this is an exceptional form where we have to use in a different way. See here, because this question tag is with no contraction sound at all, so we prefer very ungrammatical, though it is ungrammatical contraction, but which is correct in the question tag. So what we have to use? Aren't I? Along with I am not, we shouldn't use actually aren't I. But here, this is the correct question form where we have to use. That's why I told you, see, this is an exceptional case. Exceptional case. I'm late. I'm late is a sentence. Here you can't see that am I not late is not the correct expression, because here there is no contraction at all. Okay, that's why the question tag here we get aren't I, aren't I, I'm late, aren't I? I'm talking to the walls. I'm talking to the walls. Usually, like when we get angry with our siblings or anything, you see, we keep talking to the walls to convey something to our siblings, you see. I'm talking to the walls. I'm talking to the walls. Here, am is an auxiliary verb where we cannot take am I not? No, it's not a correct expression. So, aren't I is the right expression here. Clear? And the next exception is suggestions we have. What is this here? After a sentence with whenever we get the sentence begins with let's. Whenever a sentence begins with a let's, we use shall we. Shall we, rule-based thing this is. Rule-based like a contraction, question tag this is. Let's go out for a walk. Let's go out for a walk. Shall we? Shall we? We can't say that don't we. No. Shall we? Let's always followed by shall. Let's always followed by shall only. Okay. So here, why did we use here we? That is plural form. Let us. Let us. There itself we get plural form. Let's go out for a walk. Shall we? Let's study tomorrow morning. Let's study tomorrow morning. Shall we? So, remember, always let's followed by shall. Let's followed by shall only. Next one, imperative sentences. What are imperative sentences? Commands, suggestions, requests. All these are imperatives. Okay. So, after these imperative statements, we get the question tag with will you. This is also another exception. Okay, here you see, after an imperative, we use will you. So, we can consider will you as an equivalent to please. Will you please open the door? That comes under request, isn't it? So, here, open the door. Open the door. Don't smoke in this room. Come to my party. Have a coffee, cup of coffee. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. So all these are imperative sentences. Commands, requests, all these things. So here, don't open the door. Will you? Open the door. Will you? Don't smoke in this room. Will you? Come to my party. Will you? Have a cup of tea or coffee. Will you? Don't look at me like that. Will you? So, keep it in mind whenever you get affirmative sentences. Whenever you get affirmative sentences or imperative sentences, we can say that. Imperative sentences, you can use will you as a question tag. Will you as a question tag. Clear? And then a few are there. Intonation also plays a vital role in these question tags. What is intonation here? Raising of our pitch. Raising of our pitch according to the sentence, going down. Sometimes our voice goes down. Sometimes our voice goes up. Okay, let us see how it is. When we are sure of an answer or we are simply encouraging something as a response, intonation of the tag goes down. See here, say, this is your car. This is your car. Isn't it? Isn't it? Have I raised my voice? No. No. Isn't it? This is your car. Isn't it? So, voice went down. Then sometimes you see we need to raise our voice. So here you see, when we are not sure, when we are sure about something, voice go down. When we are not sure about something, if you want to check some information, the intonation will go up. It goes up. Is he from France? Is he from France? Isn't he? Isn't he? Voice goes up. Voice goes up. So in this way, intonation also plays vital role in framing question tags. Clear it is? And then semi-negatives also we have. A few semi-negatives briefly we have discussed in a previous slide. Here I say little, few, hardly, scarcely, rarely, seldom. These are semi-negatives we call them. So though they are semi-negatives, they are not completely negatives. Little sugar is there in the tin. Little sugar means negligible. Negligible. So we treat it as a negative only. We don't treat it as a positive. Okay. So few books are there. Few books are there in the almirah. Few books are there means not like might be one or two. We consider it as a negative only. Okay, hardly, scarcely, rarely, seldom. All these are semi-negatives we call them. Though they are semi-negatives, remember we treat them as negative only. That's why wherever that you get these expressions, little, few, hardly, scarcely, rarely, seldom, you have to go with a positive question tag. Positive question tag. The fun here is few. Few is a semi-negative and a few is a positive. Is a positive. Isn't it? See here. Few biscuits are there in the tin. Means not more. We can't take this as a positive. A few biscuits are there in the tin means countable. We can see, okay, many are there. Okay, so few is a semi-negative, a few is a positive. Little is a semi-negative which we consider as a negative only. Okay, and a little we consider as positive. Many we can consider as. See here, I have given you a few examples here. Few books are available. Few books are available. Few means here semi-negative considered as a negative. So this statement is negative only. Few books are available. Negative sentence takes positive question tag. What it is? Are they? Are they? A few books are available. A few books are available is a positive sentence, means countable, means we can count many are there. Many are there. So aren't they is a negative question tag. Little progress is observed in him. Little progress is observed in him. Is it? Little progress is a negative. It's a negative form. Semi-negative considered as a negative. A little progress is observed is a positive. So we have taken it as a negative question tag. Isn't it? Isn't it? And the last one is Aditya seldom visits our house. Aditya hardly visits our house. Aditya rarely visits our house. Aditya scarcely visits our house. Whatever might be the expression. Seldom, hardly, rarely, scarcely. Whatever it is, it comes under negative. Hardly visits means once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. Where we cannot count. We cannot take into account. That's why question tag will get in a positive way. That is, does he? Aditya seldom visits our house. Does he? Aditya hardly visits our house. Does he? Aditya rarely visits our house. Does he? Is it clear? So, semi-negatives, they are semi-negatives only, but considered as negatives. It takes positive question tag. Okay? And then singular number. Everyone, everybody, none. They are singular in expression. Every, one, buddy, none. So when we read these expressions, everybody, everyone, none, so we feel that these are singular in expression, but we should not take in that way. But these expressions treated as plural while framing question tags. Everybody, see, everybody in the class. Everybody in the class means this boy, that boy, this girl, this, means all put together, everybody. Expression is plural here. We treat it as a plural expression. Though we are using everybody. See, everybody can't be pleased. We can't please everybody in the auditorium. Everybody means many here. That's why we are taking here can they, positive expression. Though it looks like a singular in expression, that is everybody, everyone, none, they are plural in expression. So we have to take singular. Everyone appreciated the boy, didn't they? None of the clerks came today, did they? So here, and some of you take you in the question tag. Some of you take you in the question. Here, the expression some of you, if you get the sentence with some of you. Okay, be careful. Some of you are learning Arabic. Some of you are learning Arabic. So here in the statement, if you have you along with some of, in the question tag, you'll be getting positive question tag with you. With you. Are you? Are you? Okay. So these are some exceptions while using question tags. Clear? So as a part of classroom activity, I have given a few sentences here. Like go through all these sentences and use proper question tags in these exercises. She is collecting stickers. We often watch TV in the afternoon. And you have cleaned your bike. John and Max don't like maths. Peter played handball yesterday. Don't mess around. Let's leave. He could have brought a new car. There will be loads of people tonight. I'm clever. So all these statements we have discussed elaboratedly in the session. So try to go through this activity part and what you have understood from the session, use here and write right answers and check your progress in question tags. Okay, children, thank you very much for being with me and learn question tags perfectly to enhance your grammar skills. Thank you very much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.